What up, people? It's Coach Coffee back for week 2 of Coach Coffee's Corner. We have our usual standby guest, the illustrious Coach Treader. And we have a special guest this week, our reigning, defending, undisputed, currently undefeated, reigning champion, Tim, Run TMC McManus. Champ, what up, man? How you been?
And I appreciate that gracious welcome. And again, before I get going, a big thank you to yourself and Treader. This is tremendous. As the reigning champion, I will allow everyone to play again this year. I'm looking forward to playing with everyone again this year. You've made it when the league starts trying to make rules to take you down. So, you know what I'm saying? I feel confident. Obviously, the Odell Beckham rule will table that, but
okay.
I'm excited for the year, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right, good, man. We might have to come back to that, get a little more detail. Breaking news you might have.
Come back to that.
All right. But before we worry about week 2, let's take a brief, maybe 2-minute drill, go over week 1, talk about some of the big winners, some of the big losers, any surprises, any upsets. Tim, since you're our guest, we'll give you first pick. Feel free to mention any game or run down the whole list.
Right. So what I liked from last week was definitely, I got to say, Treader, your team looks strong. I think you got a nice little stable of players. Obviously, I'm a little biased with Ivory, but he looked real strong. And I think Hopkins was definitely one of the biggest fantasy, everyone was looking to get Hopkins this year on the team, so that's exciting.
That was a keeper, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think on the downside, to be honest with you, Peyton was so disappointing last week. His arm looked very tired, and I feel bad for Cobble because she's had a few injuries now, and Peyton just didn't look good. I know Carlos Hyde went off, but I don't anticipate that being a weekly thing. But I'd have to say Peyton looking as tired as he did was definitely disappointing, I'd have to say.
Gotcha.
Absolutely. I thought I had my doubts against the big Tabowski coming in against Ruiz, but which is now Colt 45s, I believe, is the name.
I like the name. I like the name, though.
Very, very strong. Very strong.
Tabowski, good shit. Way to come through. Your squad did prevail. So that was kind of my surprise for this week. And other than that, it's a Peyton Manning shit. Cobble's team was just absolute shit. I just lucked out and scored the highest points ever possible. But her matchups were awful. And we'll get into more of the point systems. But other than that, great first set of games. There was at least decent spreads on those. So I like the way it goes, and we'll see how this week plays out, huh?
Definitely.
No doubt. I was hurt, with Dez going down. Got to figure out some waiver wire magic, try to make up for that gap. But, hey, can't have a comeback if you don't start at the bottom, right? So
exactly.
We're going to figure out some things. We have some players-only meetings and get everybody on the same page. And we're going to come out strong this week. I like where our team's head's at. So we're going to come out strong. So, Mike, I hate it had to be you, bro, but we're coming. All right, cool.
Tim, you notice how Ed only talked about himself for week 1?
I'm logging it. What's he
doing? Hey, man.
I know you don't know me well, but I don't forget much. I hold grudges, so this is all getting logged in the memory right now. Yeah.
I was only trying to save time. Exactly. But
that's too funny.
Speaking of last week, brief update as far as tracking the coaches' records for the season. Treader picked 3 wins, missed on 2. I actually picked 4, and the only one I lost was when I lost. So
nice.
If you're gonna lose betting on yourself,
exactly.
I'll take it. But that brings us to this week. Another chance to get things right. Everybody has a chance to go 1-0 this week. So either get to 500, go 2-0, or fall to that dreaded 0-2 hole. So we got a nice slate of matchup this week. So let's see. We got Treader with my ball, Zach Ertz. Once again, great name. Taking on Sabizi. So I'm going to pick on that one. We'll get to that later. Got Mile Hyman taking on Big Timmy.
That's right.
It'll be fun to watch. It might be our game of the week.
Good game. A big game.
I won't argue
how
that.
we feel about that.
I won't argue that. You guys should videotape me and Jake during the whole Sunday.
I would actually be okay with that. I would actually be up for that. And then let's see, myself taking on the team formerly known as Ruiz, now known as Colt 45.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, who we got left? We got Chris taking on the Big Tabasco, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
All right. So, gentlemen, once again, champions honors. Timmy, who you got this week? If you could hold off on picking your own game till the end.
I can do that. So I'll run. You want me to run down the whole thing first, or one whole thing? Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess let me start with this. The first matchup, my Balzac it's Sabizi. I don't know anyone named Sabah in Chicago. I know someone named a liar. So if it's the same person, I'm going to go under that assumption. He knows why he's a liar. I'm not going to waste your time why he's a liar. You got things to do. I'm not going to waste your time.
All right.
I'm obviously going to go with my Balzac Ertz. I like the stable. I like Ivory. I like Charles. I like Hopkins. The liar has Rodgers playing out Seattle D, so I'm going to have to go with my Balzac Ertz. Skipping my pick down to the next start, the Carr versus Cavo. Again, Cavo's pretty banged up. I think C.J. Anderson being hurt, that's no good. I think she was really looking to him to step up. Peyton looked old as hell. He might be ready to sit down. I think if anybody caught the end of that giant Cowboy fiasco, Romo has just been getting blown ever since the end of that game. So he's pumped up. He's going to do real well. So I'm going to go with start the Carr. Colt 45, once you go Blackman. Ed, I hate to do it, but I'm going to have to go with Mike. I think Dez being out is only going to benefit me with Witten, I got to say. Mike's got a nice stable of back, so I'm going to have to go with Mike on that one. And lastly, Rack City and the Big Tabowski. I think Calvin Johnson, he was a big disappointment last week. He didn't do much, and I think Chris obviously is going to try to lean on him. I'm big on Amir Abdullah. I always thought he was going to be a nice pickup this year, and Julio Jones went off. So I'm going to have to go with the Big Tabasco. Now, the last game.
Hold on.
I'm too excited.
No worries.
I didn't sleep at all last night. Go ahead,
all good. Shredder, who you got this week, man?
All right. I'll say my
exception of.
All right, so Mile Hymans and The Godfather. I was actually impressed that the Mile Hymans came out on top with their win. Russell Wilson still not solid, but Jake's running backs are ready to pound. So AP, even though he didn't get the ball a lot, he's ready to step up. I know he's ready to have a big game, and I really like Frank Gore. I think Colts really need to step up and start running that ball. Luck. What are you gonna do? You know about Luck, right, Tim?
I've heard of him.
Oh, yeah.
He plays, but I don't know much. I know he played.
Yeah. So, he's on, he's off. You never know. You never know what you're gonna get from him. You know what I mean? So Mile Hymans for the win. Start the Car and KKV. Max, you are bringing up the bottom of the league yet again without fail, not just based on your 0-1 record, but your points. You just don't put up enough points. So the fact that Tim even gave you that win, kudos to you and best of luck. However, KKV comes in for the win on that one. Colt 45s and once you go Blackman, I feel like Ed has one of the strongest teams in this league, and he lucked out last week. I probably will be a once you go Blackman pick each week, depending on who he's playing most part. But Roethlisberger had a strong showing. Gronkowski, he can just go off without a doubt. Tom Brady loved Edelman in the Thursday night game. That boy, he had 12 catches? 11, 12 catches?
Yeah.
He lit him up, literally play after play after play. So I'm going to go once you go Blackman on that one. And then Rag City and the Big Tabowski. I was impressed with Tabowski. So, Chris, I think Chris really comes from behind this season, and if he really wants to make the playoffs, he's going to do some bigger waiver wire pickups or throw a big trade out there like he did last year. So, the Big Tabowski with that win.
All right, cool. All right. Well, let me see. Let's take it from the top. So, we got the champ versus the commish. Got Strong Island versus Denver. You know what?
That's obvious, but...
I might have to give it to Tim, not just because he was kind enough to guest on the show this week, but I think Andrew Luck's going to come out looking to raise a little hell. Sorry, it has to be against the Jets, Tim, but I think he's going to light it up, hang some pretty healthy numbers. And I think that's going to be enough to kind of drive you along. Eddie Lacy is going to have to play big, obviously, for Green Bay against a tough Seattle defense that has some big pieces missing. He's going to take advantage of that. And like you said, Witten's going to get a lot of love from Romo, and that bromance keeps growing. So I expect it to be close. I think Tim's going to pull it out on Monday night because he's got a lot of points riding that night. So Tim's going to take it, and Jake's going to fall to 500. Now, beyond that, Cabo, like we said, had a rough week. Peyton not looking like his old. He didn't look like the old Peyton Manning. He looked like the old Peyton Manning.
I like it. I like it. That's good.
But you got to give some points for veteran savvy and just not being at the bottom of the league. So I figure she's going to find a way to cobble together about 105, 110 points somehow through the waiver wire. And that'll be just enough to get past start the car. Now, with Chris versus Scott, this is a tricky game for me to pick. Tricky game. Scott came out really strong. Strong team. But Chris, we know him very well as the master of the waiver wire. He lives there. Set up shop. He has real estate. He's there all the time. So I think he's going to figure out one or two key moves this week, give him just enough of an edge to manage to pull out a slight upset over Scott. So I got Chris in that matchup. And let's see, of course, I kind of blew the surprise between my balls, Zach Ertz, and Sabeezy. I don't need to bore too much of your time. Shredder's got this one. So now, pick the other games.
That's too funny.
So now let's circle up on our own matchups this week. So Tim, in maybe about 30 seconds or less, explain why you're going to win this week.
Well, listen, I think right off the bat, I'm going to call them the core four: Luck, Lacy, ODB, and Witten. I think that's strong. Beckham came on strong at the end of the Cowboys game. I think he's going to continue that into next week. The only two things that really scare me on Jake's team would be Peterson and Gore. I really think Gore, I'm seeing those old knees. He's had surgeries on both of them at least twice. Peterson, again, I think it's just about him getting carries. I don't know if he's had enough yet to get reacclimated, so that's why I'm liking myself in that. Always fun to play Jake. We always like to go neck to neck on everything, so this will be good. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to win by 75, but we'll see. That's an estimate, Or 12. It could be 12. I don't know. Somewhere between 12 and 75.
Nice spread. Nice spread.
Yeah, I'll take the odds on that shit. All right. So my ball, Zach Ertz versus Beezy. Sabah, I don't know why you don't have so many fans. I mean, you guys went to school together. Everybody loves you. Except when it comes to fantasy, you just nobody. Nobody. So, with that being said, I still feel you had one of the stronger drafts this season, but how you play the rest of the season is going to really be a big deal. I obviously am going to take myself. I'll probably take myself every game this season like our coach Coffee over here. But for my reasons is Jamal Charles is going against the Denver defense, and the defense is pretty solid right now. However, I think the run defense is got some gaps right down the middle. Your defensive ends are strong, your linebackers are strong, but I think Jamal is going to run up the middle pretty much all day. And then Jimmy Graham didn't have a great showing. He had one touchdown last week, but Russell and Jimmy are still trying to jive. So if Russell does good, I think Jimmy's going to have another touchdown. And then DeAndre Hopkins, he's number one. He's number one on the squad. And by the way, Coffee, on the waiver wires this week, Des Bryant goes down. What's your next move?
Keep watching.
Who do you pick up off the waiver wires if Des Bryant goes down? You pick up the next.
Something's got to keep close to the vest.
You got. What do you mean? You're supposed to pick up Terrence Williams, right? He's the next number one receiver for the next 2 months.
If you believe in him, if you believe he's the best option available.
Oh, for the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Coach doesn't like to say too much.
He sure doesn't. He's just like.
Hold on. Hello? No, I can't. I used up all my eligibility. I can't play. I don't know if that was your agent. That I told you I hurt my knee senior year. I can't.
Hey,
well, there you go.
You do your best.
There are a lot of choices now. All the choices.
Back to the drawing board. Back to the drawing board. That was my secret weapon. That was my secret weapon.
Listen,
But,
I'm
hey,
sorry. I'm sorry.
it's cool. It's cool. I'll figure something out.
Too.
I'll figure
It's a
something
tough
out.
call to take and say no. Hey,
Oh, man.
that's a lot of courage. Anyways,
Yeah.
I don't think you should have been on that a little heavier. The fact that I got Terrence Williams in the 10th round of waivers says a lot about you.
Well, unless he plays fairly, then this is a lot about you. So, only time will
Tension.
Hey, maybe not with a little controversy. I can't always be nice to Ed.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. You're right, Trey. You're right.
So, all right, my Balzac is for the win by. It's going to be 22 points.
Fair.
Oh, all right. Reasonable.
Not a Tim McManus spread, but fair. I think way reasonable. I think
I guess
22
I'm
sounds
a
good.
little more far fetched than you are, Tim. So
Right.
Oh, man. All right. So this week, got a tough matchup against Mike, building a strong squad. You know, he's got Tannehill, should be playing a relatively average Jacksonville defense. Get a chance to see Ford take off a little bit maybe against this tough Arizona D, but he's got to be kind of the gas that makes Chicago go. So he's gonna get a lot of touches, gonna get a lot of love. Kelsey, man, I don't know if he's gonna, back up his week 1 performance with another week 2 breakout performance, but Alex Smith doesn't believe in throwing the wide receivers, so somebody's got to get the ball. So he should put up another solid game. But sometimes you can't play this game in the numbers, man. You got to play this game right here, in the heart. I reminded of a man. You may have heard of him. His name was Rudy.
Right.
And he went to a school by the name of Notre Dame.
Maybe.
And a lot of people counted Rudy out. But you know who didn't count Rudy out? Rudy.
Right.
You know why he didn't count himself out? Because he knew he was a winner. I know I'm a winner. I know I'm going to win this week.
Okay.
I'm hanging 145, winning by 26 points.
with the projected 116.
Holla at your boy. Holla at your boy. Throw math out the window.
Oh my
Throw math out the window. 145 or bust. You heard it here first.
GFL,
Good luck
I
on
love
the
it.
waiver wire.
Coffee, been on the syrup while we were waiting to go.
But that's every week, so it's fine.
Every week.
That's true.
Oh,
He goes to teach his classes on lean. He doesn't. That's normal for him. But
in his pocket every day.
Oh, man.
Day.
Hey, gotta do what you gotta do, man.
yeah.
But yeah, guys, so got all the picks in. Got reviewed last week. Want to briefly congratulate Tim. You know, one of the biggest events of his life was getting a chance to somehow beat me in the fantasy football championship.
Yes.
But I do think at least an equal, if not greater, event occurred recently when
Yes.
Tim was engaged. So congratulations, man. Very
Thank
happy for you.
Appreciate that.
And
Appreciate that.
Alrighty, guys. Well, that's all I got this week. Any other shout-outs, comments, bold predictions, life statements?
I think we're good, man.
All right.
Yeah, I think you got him.
Till- Sweet. Till next week, folks. We'll see you. We'll have another special guest, hopefully. Take care. Best luck if you're not playing me. Mike, don't take this too hard.
All right.
Later, guys.
There you
All
go.
right, bye.
Well, folks, that concludes
Coach
another week of Coach Coffee's Corner.
Shut it down. Can we?
Yo.
Can we have a little segment about a little college action?
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
I
You got
like-
anything you want to start with, or you want me to kick it off?
I
I got
want-
plenty to say about college football.
Just like you would, man. It's your show.
All right. Man, college football week 2, already getting crazy, man. You had Notre Dame, loser starting quarterback, loser starting running back, next guy up. Managed to pull out a victory against Virginia, which may or may not have caused me to almost fall off my coffee table. Incredible ending. So we'll see how Dozier lines up this week against Georgia Tech. Very tough game. That option attack is always tough to line up against when you don't play it week in, week out. So hopefully the defense will come up big. Offense will be opportunistic and make a few big plays. We got a very tough win. But beyond that, man, Oregon, Michigan State played a hell of a game in East Lansing. Michigan State's looking very, very formidable. Not to get too far ahead, but that Ohio State game they have could be a playing game, basically, for the playoff at the end of the season. You know, Auburn, man, Auburn had a lot of people around Atlanta grabbing, many whiskeys, many hot toddies, getting wasted out of stress. They almost lost to Jacksonville State. Now, if you're trying to find Jacksonville State in Florida, I understand, but it's one big problem. Jacksonville State's not in Jacksonville, Florida. It's in Alabama, and nobody knew that before. It's in Alabama. Yes.
Really?
Exactly.
Oh my
and
God.
That's why them almost beating Auburn is beyond ridiculous. So watch out for Auburn this week. They got LSU night game, I believe, in Baton Rouge. So that's going to be a very tough, tall order for them to deal with, coming off that hell of a nail biter at home. So that's going to be a fun game to watch. And then, of course, College game day is going to be not too far from where I sit in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, for Alabama versus Ole Miss night game. So it should be fun. Nick Saban's always got a few tricks up his sleeve on defense. Ole Miss has been lighting up, putting up video game numbers the past few weeks. So it's going to be fun to watch to see if they can keep that pace up when they play against the big boys. So I'm looking forward to it, man. Going to grab my six-pack, about 10, 20 wings, park myself on the couch, 12 hours, good old-fashioned college football, man.
Atta boy. That's one way to gain weight.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know it. What about y'all?
I'm not really, I don't follow it as much as you do, and I did not know Jacksonville State was in Alabama. So 10 points. I went for the fun fact of the day. So Tim, I'll pass it over to you, sir.
Well, I mean, I'm an avid Notre Dame fan, so obviously these injuries have just been pretty devastating. I think what you take away, though, is you got a young quarterback that steps in, ice in the veins, comes in, picks up a 4th and 2, and then throws the game-winning touchdown. So that's got to give you some type of confidence. But, my God, I don't know any team that's ever won with a third string. Oh, wait, I do. It's called Ohio State. So let's not sleep on Notre Dame, okay? So I'm excited about it. I'm excited for this week. I'm a little nervous with Georgia Tech. Navy has shredded the Irish over the years with the option, shredded. And Georgia Tech has actual speed. You know what I'm saying? So this could, I think it's going to be a 40-point minimum from Georgia Tech. So somehow, we got to put up a few points on our end. I think Procise has been tremendous running the ball. God even knows where he came from. He did solid last year, but he's been running the rock like crazy. I'm excited about that. But, man, Georgia Tech and that speed, that's going to be something to watch. But I really think if we can get this young quarterback throwing the ball around with confidence like he's been doing, there's a chance, and he seems confident in all his post-game and everything, so we'll see. But, I mean, I'll, if I don't make it to next week in the league, I have Colleen, my fiance, will inherit my team. She doesn't know much about football. Don't take advantage. But she'll ride out with the players I have, and that's what we can do. I can't do much else, but, we'll do our best. So.
All right. We'll send a welcome letter to Colleen when she gets in here. So.
Thank you.
Well, Steph.
Awesome.